Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much.
Representing the business of boxing, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Manager Marty!
Thank you. You're far too kind. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll the Tape film crew, welcome to another episode of Roll the Tape podcast with Manager Marty. I'm your host, Manager Marty. So excited to be here with all of you this morning. Double salute and welcome and shout out to all of the members of this channel and supervisors of the Roll the Tape film crew who are live and in living color and playing the replay of this live. I welcome each and every last one of you. If you are joining us through the live and the replay of this live, especially the replay of this live, I welcome you, but please feel free to give me some feedback in the comments section below. Shout out to the sponsors of this channel, Courtland Manus LLC, personal injury lawyers in the states of Pennsylvania and New Jersey. If you need a personal injury attorney, I promise you, I recommend them. And the reason why I can stand here with confidence and recommend them is because I've personally utilized their services and expertise and representation within the last 2 years on multiple occasions. And I've won every single time because their website tells you what their motto is. WeFightWeWin.com, 2674-574201, 2674-574201, WeFightWeWin.com. Now, most of you already know this. Some may not. But the Cash App, which is listed at the bottom of your screen, $ Manager Marty, all contributions are greatly appreciated. And if you're watching the replay of this live, there's a heart symbol next to the word thanks. Click on that. Be a part of the show. Be a part of the engagement by supporting the channel so that I can continue to produce quality content to provide you with entertainment and education. Now, enough with the hugs, handshakes, and Valentine's Day cards. I don't know where to start. I really don't. I don't know where to start. I mean, should it be a continuation of what I said yesterday in the special edition live that I published and broadcast about Keyshawn Davis and him missing weight? Or should I start from when Keyshawn Davis was at the actual arena last night? I don't know where to start. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to ask you all in the live chat. Let's get some engagement in here. Yeah, I know that we can do our Town Watch check-in, but right now the circumstances are calling for us to address this situation head on immediately. We'll get to the Town Watch check-in another day. I'm going to let the live chat decide. Let's see if we can get some engagement in here early this morning. Welcome to all of my fans and supporters all over the world who are outside of the country of the United States of America. Might be evening time where you are. I appreciate your viewership. Where do I start? Somebody in the live chat. Do I have a member of the channel? This is one of the perks right here. May I have a member of the channel, a supervisor of the Roll the Tape film crew who is here? May I get somebody? Just one. I don't need too many. Just one person. You know I don't ask for much. Just one person to please tell me where should I start with this situation. I mean, because should it be from the continuation of what I said yesterday regarding Keyshawn Davis missing the weight and segueing that into last night, or should I start from my observation of Keyshawn Davis from the time he actually was in the arena while the other fights were happening? Which one? Okay, thank you. Somebody said something because I was waiting for a member of the channel, but it's all good. We all gonna get through this together as a family. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Come on in. I'm gonna give you some pointers and some perspectives that you might never hear. No, you ain't gonna find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad y'all here. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Grab a plate though. When you come in, walk in. Come on, just walk in the room. Just walk in the room. Grab a plate now. Soon as you walk in, just grab a plate. I have some food that I want to serve you. Some food for thought. Double salute to my guy. Shout out to him, my main man, Pots and Pan. Not only did he call the upset, but I echoed his sentiments and called the upset as well. And that's my guy. Double salute to him. He's like family to me. Crown Jewel Boxing. And when this live go off, please go over to Crown Jewel Boxing's channel and subscribe to his channel. Support him. Not only is he like family to me, but he's also a supporter of this channel, and we support him as well. Double salute to my guy. He's like family as well. Honorary Lucky McKinnells. Thank you for the support and contribution, Lucky. I appreciate you, man, for real. Lucky McKinnell says in the super chat, they need personal injury lawyers in Virginia after what happened last night. So let's start from there. Let's start from what happened last night. Thank you, Lucky. How about we start there? Let me give y'all my observation, okay? The first encounter that I saw from Keyshawn Davis last night while other fights were going on, he was standing up talking to other people while he was sitting ringside eating popcorn. I thought that was disingenuous. I really did. The reason why I thought that was, and I'm not saying he shouldn't be happy. I'm not, because his brothers were competing that night. I'm not saying that he shouldn't be relieved because the burden of making weight and all of the other burdens that are placed on professional boxers psychologically, emotionally, and physically, he didn't have to endure those encounters anymore. Obviously, at this point, he could just sit down and relax and be a spectator. I get all of that. But the issue that I had with Keyshawn eating that popcorn and smiling, he never issued a public apology. Even after missing the weight, when the interviewer was asking him questions while he was on the stage. In other words, I expected to see the businessman, that is his name, right? The businessman, I expected the businessman to stand on business, good business, and apologize to the media, apologize to his promoter, first and foremost, apologize to the fans, apologize to his family members and all of the supporters and fans of boxing that came out to support him. He should have done that. But you know why he didn't do that? In my personal observation and my professional opinion, is because Keyshawn Davis lacked humility. And we're going to get to the description of that in just a few seconds, but I wanted to dive into laying the foundation first. He lacks humility. That's why he didn't issue an apology. That's number one. He has no character, has no integrity. Number two, when you apologize, whether it be privately or publicly, you have to mean that when you apologize. And quite frankly, it's hard for Keyshawn Davis to apologize when he wasn't sorry in the first place. What I'm saying is, once again, this is my personal observation and my professional opinion. Keyshawn Davis had no intentions of making weight for this fight. I'm going to take it another step further because I didn't mention this yesterday in the live intentionally. Now I could actually speak on it because it's more relative to my point. But Bomac, his trainer, just like other people and other members of his camp, they knew last week what his weight was. It's not like he found out that he was 139.4 pounds at the official weigh-in. Man, they knew last week that he wasn't going to make that weight. They knew that last week. I'm going to take it a step further and use Keyshawn Davis's words that he used when the interviewer, I don't know the woman's name, that's why I'm calling her an interview or referring to her as an interview. I don't know her name. I don't even know what platform she was on. But she was asking Keyshawn Davis questions literally right after he missed the weight on the scales. And Keyshawn Davis said, these are his words, not mine. Hey, Lucky, that sounds familiar? Yeah, that was between me and Lucky. I'm sorry, y'all. Anyway, Keyshawn Davis said, his words, not mine. I've been trying to make the weight all last night. And then early this morning, I was trying to make the weight as well and realized that I can't make the weight. So my question becomes, and Crown Jewel Boxing, salute to him again, former professional boxer, he knows that what I'm about to say makes sense. And I'm sure Crown Jewel Boxing can attest to this, being a professional boxer here live with us. He's the one with the experience. He's the expert, in my opinion. And I know he'll back my play up. Watch this. So if you tried all night, Keyshawn Davis, to make weight, and then you tried the next morning to make weight, and you landed and ended up with the final result of being 139.4 pounds. What I'm basically getting at is the question becomes, how much did you actually weigh before last night? If Keyshawn Davis ended up 4 pounds, nearly 4.5 pounds over the weight limit after the morning that he tried to make weight, according to what he told us, how much did you actually weigh the night before? That's why I mean, or that's what I mean when I say he had no intentions of making the weight in the first place. because apparently you weighed more than 140 pounds. Let's be clear on that. We know that to be true. We know that to be true. But we don't know how much past the 140 that he weighed. What I'm getting at is the team, Bo Mack, the trainers, and whoever else worked with Keyshawn Davis in this training camp, they knew last week. See, this is a point that no one else on YouTube brought up. Know why? Because you ain't going to find this nowhere else. But that's why I'm glad you're here. You might find it on one other channel, and he's here now, Crown Jewel Boxing. But the rest of them, you ain't going to find it. But I'm here, and so is Crown Jewel. What I'm basically getting at is Keyshawn Davis wasn't just unprofessional. I know that's a very loose term we can use because we might look at this situation as unfortunate, but unfortunate is an understatement in my opinion. Keyshawn Davis totally, blatantly disrespectful. Because it's one thing when you're trying your best to make the weight and you just can't. But when you don't even make an effort to the point where your body is not even looking like you drained. And according to his own promoter, Bob Arum, his words, not mine, said he didn't look dehydrated and he did not look like he was even making any attempts to make the weight. That's what the promoter of Keyshawn Davis said. And he'd been in the business over what, 40 years? 50 years? I'm talking about Bob Arum been in the business. 60 years Bob been in this business. He know. 40, 50, 60 years. Bob know. What I'm getting at is the disrespect from Keyshawn Davis. It didn't start when he assaulted Nahir Albright. It started last week when he knew he wasn't going to make the weight. But yet he came out publicly parading this tough guy image, acting like he was willing to fight Tank Davis leading up to this fight, acting like he was ready to fight Hitchens leading up to this fight, sitting next to Abdullah Mason. I said this yesterday. Sitting next to Abdullah Mason, trying to intimidate him and punk him and tell him he's next if he want to get it. Bob, set up the fight, Bob. You knew good and well the next day you was going to miss the weight, bro. Disrespectful. Now, moving right along. So that's my first observation. He eating popcorn smiling. Where was the apology at, though, Keyshawn? I'm talking about publicly. You knew you missed weight, and you knew you was going to miss weight, and so did your teammates. Now, my question becomes this. I asked this question yesterday, but I'm going to ask Keyshawn Davis this, and I hope he's watching, and whoever else cool with him, send this to him, since he a tough guy. You did all that to Naair Albright, bro. Why you ain't make the weight so you can get in the ring and do all that to De Los Santos, man? We need answers. Why didn't you make weight, Keyshawn Davis, the tough guy, so that you can get in the ring and bully De Los Santos like that? Let me ask another question to see if we can get some feedback. Why did you have to do all of that with the weight to gain an advantage for a guy who was sitting on his couch for a year and a half? For a guy who did not compete professionally for a year and a half. I know why. Because you seen what he did to Shakur. And you knew what he was going to do to you because 2 of his professional fights went the distance. No, I'm talking about De Los Santos. Go look up his record. Go look up his record. Out of 16 pro fights, 14 of them ended early. So I'm trying to figure out, you knew you was going to miss weight, and you knew you was off of weight last week, and you knew you was going to miss weight the morning and the night before of the weigh-in. You knew that already. And I'm just trying to figure out, for who? De Los Santos? All that trash you talked for months, Keyshawn? Only to miss weight? Not only did Keyshawn miss weight, he lost his world title on the scales. Didn't even get a chance to defend it yet. Not only did he do that, I mentioned all this yesterday, but I have to lay the foundation for the disrespectfulness of Keyshawn. But you did all of this in your hometown. If that's not disrespectful, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roll to Tape film crew, I don't know what is. Your 6th grade teacher gonna be out there in the stands, homie. The guy that was bullying you in middle school and in high school, the one that was talking trash, hating on you, he gonna be out there in the stands. You home. The girl that turned you down in high school, she gonna be out there in the stands, homie. You supposed to show up and show out. But because Keyshawn Davis is disrespectful and he lacks integrity and character, what he did last night to Nahir Albright is no surprise, because this is what Keyshawn been doing for the last 48 hours, being disrespectful. Totally disrespectful. Now let's get into what happened last night. Keyshawn Davis' brother, Keon Davis, was in an interview. I saw the interview that was published on YouTube right after he got finished fighting, where he scored he scored a 2nd round knockout. The interviewer asked him, who I didn't know who the interviewer was, because I would give the interviewer credit. It was just in my feed on a shorts feed on YouTube. The interviewer asked him, what do you have to say about people publicly criticizing your brother, Keyshawn, for missing weight? And Keon said, F the fans. F them. He cursed, the F-U-C-K word. He dropped the F-bomb. Once again, disrespectful. Had no integrity, no class, no character. Why would your response be F the fans? F them. Why? Because they receive refunds? Because that was the next question that was asked of him. And he said they shouldn't have never got a refund. They should have just stayed and supported him and his other brother. The nerve of this young man. Disrespectful, lacking integrity and character. Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. But F the fans. F them. Your brother missed weight and was disrespectful to this craft. Disrespectful to his opponent. Disrespectful to his own promotion. Disrespectful to his own self. He lost his title on the scales. He's the reason why the event was canceled, for him to be the main event. But you're going to say F the fans? And F the media? And F this person and F that person? Totally disrespectful. What else happened last night? Double salute to Miss Barbara D. She's a member of the channel, supervisor of the Roll to Tape film crew. Thank you for your contribution and your support, Miss Barbara. Miss Barbara says this: that's some weak, punkish mess, Manager Marty, in my opinion. I agree with you, Miss Barbara D. Missing weight to duck somebody is the new duck nowadays, I believe. And I want to say this while I'm on this topic. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. But I believe that Keyshawn Davis did not intentionally miss weight to duck Abdullah Mason. That is absolutely not true. In fact, that theory makes no sense to me, knowing the business of boxing. But that's neither here nor there. I just wanted to just make sure I just put that out there. Double salute to my guy, Cornelius Burnett. Thank you for your contribution, Cornelius, and your support, man, always. In the super chat, Cornelius says, speak the truth. Thank you, Cornelius. You know I will. And that's why the viewership is increasing exponentially. I have the viewership right here live in living color. Y'all know the truth. Y'all know the truth is here. You know the truth is here. And that's why I'm glad you all here. Now, moving forward, what else took place last night? Besides Keyshawn Davis being disrespectful, eating popcorn and smiling, not issuing a public apology, even in the ring. Even if he would have asked Bob Arum to allow him to take the microphone from the ring announcer, just briefly for 30 seconds, and issue a public apology to ESPN, who paid the money. Can't forget about them. ESPN, the network, paid Top Rank the money to see Keyshawn Davis as the main event. To apologize for missing weight and being unprofessional. Should have did that because he's home. Now, if he was in somebody else's backyard, if he was at a neutral venue, that might not have been appropriate. But you home? That's very appropriate. He should have done that. Apologize to the network, apologize to his promotion, apologize to his brothers, apologize to his family members, his friends, apologize to his fan base, apologize to the boxing community, and also apologize to De Los Santos, because De Los Santos had to dedicate 8 to 10 weeks of his life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, in training camp. Yeah, he got compensated for it, but look at all the work he had to put in. That's all I'm saying. What else took place last night? His brother Keon saying F the fans, F other people who got a refund for wanting to see his brother Keyshawn be the main event, and then when that fight was canceled, they requested a refund. And anyone else that's publicly criticizing and holding his brother accountable for being disrespectful and unprofessional, missing weight as a world champion, losing his title, and all of this happened in his backyard. What else happened last night? I'm going to tell you what else happened last night. Keyshawn Davis had a flashback. Huh? You ain't going to find this nowhere else. That's why I'm glad you're here, because Keyshawn got me mad last night. His brother Keon got me mad last night. I was mad last night, y'all. I calmed down this morning. I prayed, listened to my gospel music. Read my scripture this morning. I'm a little calmer. But I was mad last night, homie. Keyshawn Davis and his brother ticked me off last night for what they did. Not just because they did that, but also because they did that to Nahir Albright. And I know Nahir and his family. You know Nahir's from Philly, right? You know his train. I'm going to leave all that alone. Basically, what I'm getting at is Keyshawn Davis was disrespectful. And guess what? He should have did all of that to De Los Santos. Tough guy. You want to be so tough and arrogant. Why you ain't make weight so you can put the hands on De Los Santos? Yeah, all right. You come in 4 pounds, that means you ain't make no intention. You had no intentions. 4.3, you almost 4.5 pounds. Almost 5, for real, for real. You ain't want to fight De Los Santos, homie. And you know you wasn't going to fight Tank either. But you're going to keep using his name, Keyshawn, gangster. What bothers me the most is, I said this about Bill Haney and the rest of them. I say this about Floyd Schofield Sr. I always say this. That gangster image has no place in the sport of boxing. Everybody want to be gangsters all of a sudden. But when it's time to compete in that ring, though, you miss weight. And guess what? Lost a bag in the process. So Keyshawn Davis misses weight, loses his world title, loses an opportunity to shine on a global network, to shine in his backyard, in his hometown, and he also did not get compensated. You didn't even get paid, homie. Double salute to my guy, Crown Jewel Boxing TV. Thank you so much, Crown Jewel, my guy, for your contribution and your support, man. Crown Jewel Boxing says in the super chat, bro, I don't think it's on his team. Almost all fighters sweat out those final pounds at the last minute. I think he just arrogantly decided not to. I think he just arrogantly decided not to. Okay, I can respect that perspective, Crown. Let me tell you why I say that some of the responsibility is on his team. Not so much about just the weight, because they knew last week that he was off weight. But more so what was on his team is about what took place last night with Nahir Albright in that dressing room. So you're right, Crown Jewel. Remember, y'all, Crown Jewel Boxing, he's an expert. He is a former professional boxer. For any of you viewers that are not familiar with who Crown Jewel Boxing TV is, former professional boxer. He is the expert right now on this channel. And as he just said, almost all fighters sweat out those final pounds at the last minute. And that's exactly correct. In fact, of course, I won't say any names, but there were a couple of fighters that I managed at one point in time that one of the ways that they had to sweat out those final pounds at the last minute was to go in that bathroom stall and drop a few loads. Ah, that was the good old days. The point that I'm making is this. Keyshawn Davis had to sit ringside and get the flashback. Stay with me, ladies and gentlemen, members of the jury, members of the Roller Tape Film crew. I got you right here. I'm going to set it all up for you. Yeah, it was a flashback. A flashback. What was the flashback? The flashback was that them same paws that was being put on his older brother by Naair Albright, that was the same paws that was put on him in Naair Albright's last fight. Y'all remember that? See, some of y'all might have forgot about that. And some of y'all probably didn't know that. And that is fine as well. But Naair Albright's last fight was against Keyshawn Davis in October of 2023, nearly almost close to 2 years ago. Right? Right? So with that being said, Keyshawn Davis saw his brother getting them same hands put on him that was being put on him almost 2 years ago when he fought Naair Albright. And you go back and watch that fight. Naair Albright gave Keyshawn Davis his toughest competition to date. And borderline won that fight unofficially. In fact, one of the judges scored a draw between Naair Albright and Keyshawn Davis. He was backing Keyshawn up, banging him to the body against the ropes. Go back and watch that fight. Keyshawn was in a dogfight with Naair Albright, and they cherry-picked Naair then. It's sort of like something like this, y'all. Some of you that watch me live, y'all know. Some of you watching the replay of this live, y'all also know. Some of y'all from the urban community. You know how you getting into where my fellas at? The fellas on here. You know how you get into an issue with somebody, either an argument or a physical confrontation, and then that person kind of get the best of you a little bit, and then you run and go get your big brother, and then he do your big brother dirty, because that's what happened to Keisha. I have to give you some entertainment because I was real mad last night, so I'm trying to calm down. Listen, Keyshawn fought Naair Albright. Naair Albright gave Keyshawn everything he can handle, got the best of Keyshawn Davis. And then now his big brother, the older brother, get the opportunity to avenge the pause that was being placed on him by Naair Albright. And guess what Naair Albright did? He beat the big brother up worse than he did the younger brother. Keyshawn was sitting there in his feelings And I have to say this too. I'm also disappointed because one of the judges scored it a draw again. Now, everybody watching that fight even knows. Go and watch the highlights of the fight too if you want. Naair Albright did not get into a draw last night. He won unanimously, bro. Unanimously. But you see how that judge tried to call it a draw. How was it a draw? Davis barely even landed any real significant punches. I mean, he landed a few eye-catching punches. I mean, it's boxing. Everybody's going to get hit. But he was hurt several times in that fight. Nahir Albright hurt him several times in that fight. Seriously. And the referee didn't even score the knockdown. Don't let me even start with that. You see what I'm saying? Now, all of that's spilled into the ring because now Keyshawn not only is sitting ringside watching his big brother, not a little brother, not the little brother, big brother, get beat up. And now all of a sudden, they all mad now. Naair Albright. Something else that I observed that I really was excited about when I saw it. The back of Naair Albright's robe said, Jesus is King. Now, it is Sunday, and I'm not the preacher this morning. You know, manager Marty Luther King will be right all over this one. But I'm going to tuck him in probably till tomorrow. My point is that he was in good spirits. He was positive in his thinking. He wasn't trying to upshow even Davis after beating him. He was still cool, calm, and collected, even after showing excitement. When the fight was over, him and Davis, they touched gloves in good sportsmanship. Naair Albright showed you the kind of man he is. Showed you what kind of integrity that he maintains. Shows you the kind of character that he has, and he should be commended for it. So double salute to Naair Albright for maintaining poise. He ain't talk trash and disrespect nobody, even though he won by a landslide in their own backyard. He was signing autographs when he jumped out the ring, shaking hands, kissing babies, the whole shebang, being humble, because that's what boxing is about, being humble. Once again, the Davis brothers lacked humility last night. And it all was predicated off of the disrespect that Keyshawn Davis showed this sport and a lack of humility from jumping on them scales. And it all reverberated to the night of the fight. Now, moving forward, Naair Albright, he goes in the dressing room, celebrating with his coaches, his promoters. And I know his promoters. I know them. I know his team. I know his younger brother, Quaddy. I know them. Good people. He in the back celebrating. His family back there. Remember, he's the road warrior. He's in someone else's hometown. He's in someone else's backyard. Just celebrating. Double salute to my guy, Jay Mills, coming heavy with the air fryer. Appreciate you, man. Always with your contribution and your support, Jay Mills. Thank you so much, man. Jay Mills says in the super chat, pulling up late, but I'm here. Man, the Davis brothers are paving a dirt road over that nice pavement they had laid. Salute, manager Marty. I totally agree with you, Jay Mills. Totally agree. And we're going to deal with that in a few seconds. We're going to deal right with it. Now, let me play y'all audio to tell y'all what happened next. Hey, Dory. Where Dory been at? Good morning, sweetheart. What's up? Where Dory been at, y'all? Good to see you, Dory. We got the ladies here, y'all. We have the ladies here. They're here. You know when the ladies come out, when some nonsense happen, you know they upset too. I know the ladies are looking at Keyshawn Davis and his brothers as a bunch of suckers. Y'all don't have to say it, ladies. I'm going to say it for you. I'm gonna play this audio first, though. I want y'all to hear the words of Nahir Albright when he was asked about it after the whole debacle happened, not just in the dressing room, but ESPN have it public now on their own channel on YouTube that there was a fiasco in the hallway that was led by Keyshawn Davis throwing punches. But let's hear what Nahir Albright said. We call him Woo. Let's hear what Woo said. You know what? I'm doing way too much talking. Don't take my word for it.
His little brother came in and they started looking at me. It's like saying something about his older brother, like they was mad, and he like grabbed me, pushed me back. I'm like grabbing his hand. He like moved his head towards my my head, got like a little.
So you bumped heads?
Yeah, he like headbutted. Yeah, he like headbutted me.
Did y'all hear that? I'm going to play it again. I'm going to play that part again. I'm going to play the whole thing again. I want y'all to hear it again. Roll the tape.
Yeah, Keyshawn and his little brother came in and they started looking at me. It's like saying something about his older brother, like they was mad, and he like grabbed me, pushed me back. I'm like grabbing his hand. He like moved his head towards my my head, got like a little.
So you bumped heads?
Yeah, he like headbutted. Yeah, he like headbutted me.
No. Okay.
Can we see him?
Keyshawn did?
Yeah. So yeah, that's what happened.
Any words between you and them after the fight that might have led to this incident?
No, actually, like I said, I was in the locker room. Their locker room is right next door to mine. So I guess they heard like us like happy and all that kind of stuff, and they came in and started trouble.
Did anyone punch you or anything, or is it just a headbutt?
Yeah, just to grab me and headbutt.
Why do you think they would do this?
I mean, they upset that their brother lost, and yeah, sportsmanship.
Those were the words of Nahir Albright after all of this happened. Okay? So let me pick up where I left off. So Keyshawn Davis and his brother Keon Davis, and there was another boxer who competed on that card, according to the promoter of Naair Albright, that actually all three of them walked into the dressing room of Naair Albright, uninvited, by the way. And of course, natural assumption would be that they're coming back here to at least congratulate, to at least show good sportsmanship after the fight. But instead, Naair Albright said that Keyshawn Davis and his brother, younger brother, who also competed that night, Keon Davis, was mean mugging him, ice grilling him, giving him dirty looks, giving him the gangster looks as they were walking towards him and approaching him. He said Keyshawn Davis mentioned something about his brother losing, and they seemed like they were mad and angry. So Keyshawn Davis grabbed Naair Albright, and as Naair Albright tried to, basically push his hands off of him, Keyshawn headbutted Woo. Now, Keyshawn, Keon, y'all gangsters now? That's what boxing about now? Intimidating people? That's what boxing is about now? Trying to press somebody? Is that what boxing is about now? Getting mad because your brother didn't just lose, but he got beat up in front of you and your whole family. And he's the big brother. That's what we do. We do stuff like that now. Here's the thing I got to say about that. Since somebody in my live chat is basically co-signing what Keyshawn Davis did by saying that shows that he's really pressing dudes. He's the sucker in my eyes. Yeah, I said it. Keyshawn Davis and his brother is the clown, and they're a bunch of suckers. Because that's not how you press people. That ain't how you press dudes when you built like that. And they ain't built like that. So don't come on my channel acting like we're going to sit here and condone the behavior of Keyshawn Davis and his brother. You know how you press somebody? You make weight in front of your hometown and you get in the ring and press them. That's how do you want to impress somebody or press somebody? You get in the ring and press them when you're a professional boxer. He don't get no credit for headbutting somebody. He was home when he did that. He don't get no credit for that. You home. You got 1,000 people with you. You're supposed to act tough. When the last time you seen Keyshawn do that in somebody else's backyard? You ain't gonna find him doing that there. So we're not gonna condone this behavior like we promoting violence and him being a gangster. Where they do this at, Kenny? Where they do this at, Kenny? As grown men, we're gonna condone this? He never even should have been in Wu's dressing room in the first place. You ain't gonna come in there and congratulate that young man and show good sportsmanship and shake his hand like a man for beating you up and then beating your big brother up. Then don't go in the dressing room. For what? What's the point of going in the dressing room? And then he assaulted somebody when he was in the dressing room. Hey, Bill! Speaking of assault, speaking of battery, hey, Bill! This is how you sue somebody, Bill Haney. Hey, Bill Haney don't even have nothing to do with this. But I have to give myself entertainment because it's making me mad. So I'm going to calm down. It's Sunday. What I'm trying to get at is this. Bill Haney sued Ryan Garcia for missing weight and putting the paws on his son inside of a boxing ring, and it's being filed and labeled as assault and battery. So if Bill Haney can do that, and some of y'all was taking up for Bill doing that too, what you think should happen next in Nahir Albright's case of an assault that took place outside of the ring? You've guessed it, lawsuit. Yeah, I said it. I don't care who say I'm a sucker or a nut or a punk for saying that. It's good business. Because at the end of the day, the man has to walk around. Naair has to walk around with a big hickey on his head. For what? He didn't deserve that. He didn't earn that. For what? And we don't know if he suffered a concussion later on last night, this morning, what other injuries that he sustained. When you headbutt somebody, that's something different, homie. You don't know what the man had to be in front of his family. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if his kids is graduating from school in a few days. That's what I'm trying to get at. He didn't earn that. He didn't deserve that. And he still was professional afterwards. I'm talking about in front of the media. I'm sure he was upset. But he still maintained the level of poise. You got to give Naair credit. We're not going to sit up there and uphold the BS and nonsense from no Keyshawn talking about he pressing dudes like that. He ain't pressed Frank Martin like that. Y'all forgot about that? Remember when Frank Martin ran up on him and pulled up on him? Oh, yeah, some of y'all forgot. Go on YouTube and check that out. I don't like when people portray the gangster image in boxing. It really bothers me, actually, to be honest. But now you're going to assault another man for what? Because your brother lost? Go back in the gym. Go back in the drawing. You know what Keyshawn should have did since he hanging around with Bud Crawford and them? And Bomac? He should have called Victor Conte. I bet you he would have made weight then. And he definitely would have had this excruciating power in round 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 9, and 10. I'm talking about if he would have fought De Los Santos. Now, why am I bringing up Bo Mack and Terence Crawford before I let y'all go? Because according to Naair, according to Wu, when the fiasco was done and over with, and security and the police and the camera crew had to get in there and break everything up, the trainer, Bo Mack, and Terence Crawford came into Nahir Albright's dressing room and apologized on behalf of the Davis brothers. Hey, that's what Wu said. And I believe him too. Bo Mack and Terence Crawford came into his dressing room after Keyshawn Davis, the clown, the sucker, did what he did. They apologized on his behalf. But here's the thing, Bo Mack and Terence Crawford. Y'all can't apologize for Keyshawn. Keyshawn Davis is a grown man. And neither Bo Mack or Terence Crawford, neither one of them live in Virginia. So it wasn't like they were trying to, uphold a little bit of honor for the city or put on for their city. No, or represent their city because they're not from there. No, Keyshawn Davis should be in there apologizing to that man, not Bo Mack and not Terence Crawford. That's all I'm saying. The person that should be apologizing is Keyshawn Davis, not Bo Mack and not Terence Crawford. In fact, and this is where I'm going to park the school bus right here, when I talk about the team have to be held accountable. There's an old adage in boxing, and y'all know I don't subscribe to it. You're only as good as your last fight. But I have my own adage that makes more sense to me. You're only as good as your team. You're only as good as your team. You see how De Los Santos had a good representation, right? You see how his team upheld good business. He was able to get paid, not compete in the ring, and still be able to relax without having any injuries. That's good business. Without even having to compete in the ring because the promoter did not want to pay any extra money that was being requested. Because part of that money that they would have to pay would have come out of Keyshawn Davis's purse had both of them would have fought in the ring. But the point I'm making is about you only as good as your team, because where was the team at when they knew that this young man was going to miss weight? Integrity says, go talk to the promoter before you embarrass the promotion and jump on this scale with all these cameras out here when you knew you was going to be 4.3. And instead of telling the media, Keyshawn Davis, well, this was going to be my last fight anyway. I was going to move up to 140 after this. No, you're not supposed to say that right then and there, homie. Where was the team at to hold Keyshawn accountable? To apologize to the fan base after missing weight? Where was the team at to pull Keyshawn Davis' coattail with his behaviors? Where was the team at? So the question becomes, who's around Keyshawn Davis holding him accountable? Because when you got a good, strong team, especially a bunch of older men around who's experienced with wisdom, they're going to pull your coattail as a young man and sit you down and give you some game and some wisdom on life. Because Keyshawn Davis, if he think he's going to be a gangster and try this again somewhere else, he might not even be able to leave that arena. His brothers may not even be able to leave that arena, depending on who it is. It ain't always going to be sweet like that. It's a certain way as a young man you conduct yourself, especially in the sport of boxing. Boxing is about humility. And there's two things I've learned about boxing. Two things. Boxing will humble you or boxing will humiliate you. And right now, boxing is humiliating Keyshawn and his brother. Know why? Because they lack humility. Because Keyshawn Davis lacked character. Because Keyshawn Davis lacked integrity. Because if he didn't, he wouldn't even play this up, talking all that trash, leading up to the fight, and even sitting next to Abdullah Mason, trying to make him believe that a next fight can potentially happen with him and Abdullah when he knew he was going to miss that weight. Gaslighting the media. That's all I'm saying. Where was the team at then? You know what the old heads would do? If that would have transpired with the right team, you know what, Naair? I'm the trainer. You know what, Naair? I'm the boxing manager. I apologize that you had to go through that. But I'm not going to apologize for that man. Stay right here, Naair. I'll be right back. This is what a real old head would do. This is what a good team would do. I'm not going to apologize for Keyshawn. But when everything die down, stay right there. And I'm going to go get Keyshawn. And that young boy going to apologize to you man to man. That's what the real old heads do. That's what a real good team do. Yeah, I said it. Double salute to J Sir 72. I'm hot this morning. Clowns. J Sir 72. Double salute, big dog. Appreciate you, man. Thank you for your contribution and your support, man. J Sir is a member of the channel, supervisor of the Road to Tape Film Crew. J Sir 72 says this in the super chat. That was some real clown-ish. Keyshawn Davis should be banned from boxing for that dumb-ish. Well, they're not going to ban him from boxing. But I tell you what, Keyshawn Davis, Bob Arum got something for you, Keyshawn. You made the promotion lose money. You made the promotion be humiliated. You made the promotion have to now have a meeting with the owners of the venue. See, some of y'all didn't think about that. I know you ain't gonna find this nowhere else. Because the promoter is responsible for what happens at the venue. That's the reason why promoters have to pay for what? Security, police presence, law enforcement, right? And they didn't even do a good enough job from the video I saw. So a lawsuit should be coming down the pipe, if you ask me. Lawsuit should be coming down the pipe from Nahir Albright's team. I'm not saying they're going to file a lawsuit. I don't know. I'm just saying that they should. They should. Keyshawn Davis ain't really fight nobody. For real, his toughest opponent was Naair Albright. And guess what? Naair Albright went in his hometown and beat up his big brother. Took the belt, was trying to celebrate with his family, his team, only for Keyshawn Davis to do a sucker move and headbutt and assault this man. Come on, man. And somebody in my chat want to condone that? Y'all want to amen that? Everybody want to be gangsters now, right? Yeah, all right. Check this out. The real gangster going to win at the end. I promise you that. And I want y'all to come back to this live in about 6 to 8 months. Mark my words. Y'all going to see what I'm talking about. The promoter's going to win at the end, Keyshawn. That's another thing the old head is supposed to teach you and show you about the business, Mr. Businessman. You messing up the business, Mr. Businessman. Not just on the scales, Mr. Businessman, but also in the dressing room. The promoter's going to win at the end. And Crown Jewel Boxing can attest to that. Because he used to be a professional boxer. And Crown Jewel know what I'm talking about. And other boxers that's watching me live and live in color in the replay of this. And other managers and promoters that's watching the live and the replay of this. They know what I'm talking about when I say the promoter going to win at the end. Keyshawn, game over, my man. You and both of your brothers. Game over, homie. 6 to 8 months. Mark my words. Mark my words. I hope Keyshawn Davis apologized to Naair. Where's Tim Bradley when you need him? I mean, Tim Bradley hope I get sued. I didn't do nothing wrong. Is Tim Bradley going to say that he hopes Keyshawn Davis and them get sued? We need answers.